Hello there. Welcome back to Dreamland Science. If this is your first time here, this is a place for curious minds to gather, relax, and learn something gentle before sleep. Tonight, we are going to talk about warmth. Not the kind of warmth you measure with a thermometer, but the kind your body has known since before you were born. The warmth of a blanket wrapped around you, the warmth of a hand resting on your shoulder, the warmth that tells every cell in your body you are safe. You can rest now. You don't need to remember any of what you hear tonight. You don't need to pay attention. Just let these facts drift over you, like warm air on a quiet evening. And if you'd like to help other sleepy souls find their way here, a like or subscribe means more than you know. Now, let's begin with something your body has always understood. Your body temperature drops before you fall asleep. Every night, as darkness settles and your body prepares for rest, something quiet begins to happen. Your core temperature, the deep internal heat at the center of your body, starts to fall. It drops by about 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit. This is not a malfunction. It is a signal. Your body is telling your brain the day is ending. It is time to let go. This cooling is one of the oldest sleep signals in human biology. Long before alarm clocks, before electric lights, before even language, your body already knew how to say goodnight. It said it with temperature. Perhaps, right now, you might notice the air around you. Perhaps it feels just cool enough to make the warmth of your blanket feel like a gift. That gentle contrast, cool air, warm covers, is exactly what your body is looking for. Let that contrast hold you. Your hands and feet are tiny radiators. When your body decides it is time to sleep, it sends warm blood rushing toward your hands and your feet. The blood vessels in your fingers and toes open wide, a process scientists call distal vasodilation. Heat flows outward, away from your core, radiating gently into the air around you. Researcher Kurt Kreutzsche found that this gradient, warm extremities, cooling core, is one of the strongest predictors of how quickly a person falls asleep. It is not about being hot or cold. It is about the direction of flow. Heat moving outward means your body is ready. Your hands might be resting somewhere soft right now, perhaps on your chest, perhaps beside your pillow. Wherever they are, they may be doing exactly what they were designed to do, quietly releasing the warmth of today into the stillness of tonight. Let them do their gentle work. Wearing warm socks to bed can help you fall asleep faster. It sounds almost too simple, but research has shown that warming your feet before sleep can reduce the time it takes to fall asleep. In one study, participants who wore warm socks fell asleep an average of 15 minutes faster than those who did not. The reason is not that your feet need to be warm for comfort, though that is a pleasant side effect. The reason is physics. When your feet are warm, blood vessels dilate. More blood flows to the surface. More heat escapes, and your core temperature drops more efficiently. Warm feet, cool core. That is the equation your body solves every night. If your feet are tucked under a blanket right now, they may already be doing this. Softly, slowly, without you needing to think about it at all. Your body knows this mathematics. It has been solving it since the day you were born. Your skin has over 4 million heat receptors, scattered across every inch of your body, embedded just beneath the surface of your skin. There are millions of tiny receptors whose only job is to detect warmth. They are called thermoreceptors, and they are astonishingly sensitive, capable of detecting temperature changes as small as 1/100th of a degree. They are clustered most densely in your fingertips, your lips, and the soles of your feet. These are the places where your body pays the most attention to warmth. These are the places that notice first. Right now, those receptors are quietly sensing the temperature of whatever is touching your skin, the fabric of your pillow, the weight of your blanket, the air on your face. Each one is sending a small, gentle message to your brain: safe, warm, still. Millions of tiny messengers, all saying the same thing. The ideal room temperature for sleep is cooler than most people expect. Sleep scientists generally recommend keeping your bedroom between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. That is about 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. For many people, this feels surprisingly cool. But there is a reason. Your body needs to release heat in order to fall asleep. If the room is too warm, that heat has nowhere to go. It stays trapped, and your body stays alert, waiting. A cool room gives your body permission to do what it already wants to do. Let go of warmth gradually, gently, like a stone releasing the heat of the afternoon sun as evening comes. You do not need to adjust anything right now. Wherever you are is fine. Just notice, if you like, how the air feels against your skin, cool enough to make your blanket feel like exactly the right thing. Your body's internal clock is partly a temperature clock. Your circadian rhythm, the 24-hour cycle that governs your sleep and waking, is not only about light and darkness, it is also about heat and cooling. Your core body temperature follows a predictable wave throughout the day. It rises in the morning, peaks in the late afternoon around 6 or 7 in the evening, and then begins its slow, steady descent towards sleep. The lowest point comes between 4 and 5 in the morning. That is when your body is at its coolest, its quietest, its deepest state of rest. You are somewhere on that wave right now, perhaps already descending. Perhaps your body has already begun its nightly journey toward that quiet, cool valley where the deepest sleep lives. You do not need to do anything to help it along. It knows the way. Melatonin and body temperature are deeply connected. When your brain begins to release melatonin, the hormone that invites sleep, it also triggers a drop in core body temperature. These two signals work together, like two instruments playing the same quiet melody. Melatonin begins to rise about 2 hours before your natural bedtime, and as it rises, your temperature falls. The two are so closely linked that researchers can predict melatonin levels by measuring skin temperature alone. It is a kind of duet, a chemical lullaby sung in 2 parts. 1 part darkness, 1 part cooling. Your body has been rehearsing this duet every single night of your life. And tonight, it is singing it again, softly, without you needing to listen. Brown fat generates heat while you sleep, deep inside your body, mostly around your neck and shoulders. There is a special kind of fat called brown adipose tissue, unlike regular fat, which stores energy. Brown fat burns energy to create warmth. Babies have a lot of brown fat. It keeps them warm when they cannot shiver yet. Scientists once thought adults lost most of their brown fat, but recent studies have shown that adults still carry small deposits of it, quietly generating warmth throughout the night. It works without you knowing. It does not ask for instructions. It simply senses the temperature and responds. A tiny furnace, tucked beneath your skin, keeping you just warm enough to rest deeply. Your shoulders might feel heavy right now. That heaviness is not a burden. It is the weight of a body that knows how to take care of itself while you sleep. Let your shoulders sink a little deeper. Shivering is your body's emergency heater. If your core temperature drops too low, your body activates a last resort warming mechanism, shivering. Your muscles contract and relax rapidly, up to 20 times per second, generating heat through pure friction. It is not comfortable. It is not meant to be. It is meant to be urgent. Shivering is your body's way of shouting, "I need warmth." But right now, you are not shivering. You are still. You are quiet. And that stillness is a sign. It means your body has everything it needs. The temperature is right. The blankets are enough. The furnace of brown fat and the radiators of your hands and feet are doing their work. No emergency. No urgency. Just a body that is warm enough and safe enough to be completely still. Fever is warmth turned into a weapon. When your body detects an infection, it does something remarkable. It deliberately raises its own temperature. A fever is not a symptom of illness. It is a strategy. Your immune system turns up the heat to create an environment where viruses and bacteria struggle to survive. Your body weaponizes warmth. It uses the same heat that comforts you as a shield to protect you. But tonight, your temperature is not fighting anything. Tonight, the warmth inside you is not a weapon. It is simply warmth. Quiet, purposeless, peaceful warmth. The kind that exists not to defend you, but to hold you. There is a difference between warmth that fights and warmth that rests. Tonight, your warmth is resting. Blood is the river that carries warmth through your body. Your circulatory system is not only a delivery network for oxygen and nutrients, it is also a heating system. Warm blood from your core flows outward through arteries, carrying heat to every tissue, every organ, every fingertip. And when your body wants to cool down, it reverses the flow, sending blood to the surface where heat can escape into the air. This is why your cheeks flush when you are warm. This is why your fingers feel cold when you are stressed. Blood is the messenger, and heat is the message. Right now, warm blood is flowing through you in quiet, steady rivers, through your chest, down your arms, into your fingers. Each heartbeat pushes another small wave of warmth through your body. You do not feel each one, but they are there. A constant, gentle pulse of heat, keeping you exactly warm enough to rest. Your blood vessels can change width in seconds. The arteries and veins in your body are not rigid tubes. They are flexible, muscular walls that can expand or contract in response to signals from your nervous system. When you need to release heat, they widen. Vasodilation. When you need to conserve heat, they narrow. Vasoconstriction. This happens without your awareness. Thousands of tiny adjustments, every minute, all night long. Your vascular system is constantly fine-tuning, recalibrating, finding the exact right balance of warmth. It is like an orchestra conductor making tiny adjustments. A little louder here, a little softer there, until the music is perfect. Your body is conducting the symphony of warmth right now, and it does not need you to be awake to do it. So close your eyes, if they are not closed already. The conductor does not need an audience. Your hypothalamus is the thermostat of your brain. Deep in the center of your brain, there is a structure no larger than an almond, called the hypothalamus. Among its many responsibilities, it serves as your body's thermostat, constantly monitoring your internal temperature and making adjustments to keep it within a narrow, safe range. When you are too warm, it triggers sweating. When you are too cold, it activates shivering. When it is time to sleep, it orchestrates the slow, deliberate cooling that carries you into rest. It has been doing this since the moment you were born. It has never taken a night off. It has never made a mistake that your body could not recover from. You have a guardian deep inside your brain whose only job is to keep your temperature right. Tonight, it is working perfectly. You do not need to check on it. You do not need to help. It knows exactly what to do. Night sweats are your body releasing excess warmth. Sometimes, in the middle of the night, your body releases a sudden wave of warmth through the skin. You might wake up feeling damp, or throw off a blanket you did not know you needed to remove. This is not always a sign of something wrong. Often, it is simply your thermostat making a correction. Too much warmth built up. The hypothalamus responded. Heat was released. Your body is not fragile. It is adaptable. It adjusts, corrects, rebalances, all through the night, all without you needing to be aware. And if you are comfortable right now, it means no correction is needed. Everything is in balance. The temperature is where it should be. Your body can simply be still. Your skin temperature and your core temperature are almost never the same. The surface of your skin is usually several degrees cooler than the deep interior of your body. Your core hovers around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. But the skin on your forearm might be 89 or 90 degrees. Your fingertips might be even cooler. This difference is not a flaw. It is a design. The gap between your skin and your core is what allows heat to flow. Outward when you need to cool. Inward when you need to warm. Without that gradient, the system would stall. Your body is a landscape of temperatures. Warm valleys and cool ridges. A geography of heat mapped across your skin. And right now, that landscape is settling. The ridges are softening. The valleys are deepening. Everything is drifting toward balance. Your body temperature affects the quality of your dreams. Research has shown that the thermal environment in which you sleep can influence not only how deeply you rest, but the nature of your dreams. Slightly cooler environments tend to promote more REM sleep, the stage in which vivid dreaming occurs. When your body is thermally comfortable, it moves more easily through the stages of sleep, from light sleep to deep sleep, from deep sleep to REM, and back again. A gentle, repeating cycle, like waves on a warm shore. The dreams waiting for you tonight may already be forming somewhere beyond the edge of your awareness. And the warmth around you, not too much, not too little, is creating exactly the right conditions for them to arrive. Let them come when they are ready. Thermal neutrality is the temperature at which your body does no work to stay warm. There is a narrow range of temperature, usually between 82 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit for unclothed skin, at which your body does not need to sweat or shiver. It does not need to expand or contract blood vessels. It simply exists, No effort, no adjustment, just being. Scientists call this thermal neutrality. It is the temperature of zero thermal stress. When you are wrapped in a blanket on a cool night, the microclimate between your skin and the fabric often approaches this zone. Your body creates its own cocoon of thermal neutrality, a bubble of perfect temperature built just for you. You may be inside that bubble right now. If so, notice how little your body is doing. That stillness, that effortlessness, is the feeling of a body that has found exactly where it wants to be. Heat dissipates more slowly when you are deeply relaxed. When your muscles are tense, blood flow is restricted, and heat builds up in localized areas. But when your muscles relax, truly relax, blood flows more freely, and heat distributes evenly throughout your body before gently escaping through the skin. Deep relaxation is not just a mental state. It is a thermal event. Your body literally changes how it manages heat when you let go of tension. Your jaw might be holding a small amount of tension right now. If you let it soften, just a fraction, you may feel a slight wave of warmth move through your face. That warmth is not new. It was always there. Tension was just holding it in place. Let it flow. Cold hands and feet are one of the most common signs of sleeplessness. People who struggle to fall asleep often have cooler extremities. Their blood vessels do not dilate as readily. The heat stays trapped in the core, and the body never receives the signal that it is time to rest. This is why a warm foot bath before bed can be so effective. It is not about luxury. It is about biology. Warming the feet externally does what the body is struggling to do on its own. It opens the blood vessels, releases the heat, and tells the brain it is safe to sleep now. If your feet feel warm right now, that is a good sign. It means your body has already opened the gates. The warmth is flowing. The signal has been sent. Everything is working as it should. Newborn babies cannot regulate their own temperature. When a baby is born, its thermoregulation system is not yet mature. It cannot shiver effectively. It cannot sweat efficiently. It relies almost entirely on external warmth. The warmth of a parent's body, the warmth of a blanket, the warmth of skin pressed against skin. This is why skin-to-skin contact is one of the first things doctors recommend after birth. Not for emotional bonding alone, though that matters deeply, but for temperature. The parent becomes the baby's thermostat. You were once that small. You were once that dependent on someone else's warmth. And somewhere deep inside your body, in pathways older than memory, that association still lives. Warmth means someone is here. Warmth means I am not alone. Tonight, the warmth around you carries the same ancient message. Your body remembers warmth even when the source is gone. If you hold a warm cup of tea and then set it down, your hands will retain the sensation of warmth for several minutes afterward. This is partly physics. Heat lingers in your skin, but it is also partly neuroscience. Your brain continues to process the warmth signal even after the stimulus has been removed. Scientists call this thermal afterimage, a memory of warmth, written briefly in your nerve endings. Your body is a collector of warm moments. Every warm bath, every sunlit afternoon, every hand you have ever held. Each one left a thermal afterimage somewhere in your nervous system. And though you cannot consciously recall them, they are there. a library of warmth, stored in your cells. Tonight, you are adding another page to that library. The microclimate beneath your blanket is uniquely yours. The space between your body and your blanket is a tiny, personal atmosphere. Its temperature, its humidity, its airflow, all are shaped by your body alone. No two people create exactly the same microclimate. Researchers have found that the ideal microclimate temperature beneath bedding is around 86 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Your body and your blanket work together, one generating warmth, the other trapping it, to create this small, perfect envelope of comfort. You are inside that envelope right now, a world that exists only because you are here, a warmth that belongs to no one else. Sink into it. Your body produces enough heat in 1 hour to boil half a liter of water. The metabolic processes happening inside you right now, tenor, cellular repair, breathing, thinking, all generate heat as a byproduct, even at rest. Your body produces about 80 watts of thermal energy, enough to power a light bulb, enough, over time, to boil water. You are, in the most literal sense, a source of warmth, not just to yourself, but to the space around you. The air near your body is slightly warmer than the air across the room. Your pillow is warmer where your head rests. Your blanket is warmer where your body lies. You are a quiet furnace, a gentle, living source of heat. And right now, all of that warmth is exactly where it belongs, keeping you comfortable, keeping you still, keeping you here. Your thermal comfort zone is narrower than you might think. Humans feel thermally comfortable within a range of only about 4 to 6 degrees. Outside that window, we start to feel too warm or too cold. It is a remarkably narrow band for a species that has colonized every climate on Earth. But within that narrow range, there is a feeling that is difficult to describe. It is not quite pleasure. It is closer to the absence of discomfort. A quiet, unnoticed contentment. The kind of feeling you only recognize when it is gone. If you are feeling it right now, that soft, unspoken comfort, hold on to it. Not tightly, just gently, like holding a warm stone in the palm of your hand. It will stay as long as you let it. Warmth is the first sensation your body ever learned. Before you could see, before you could hear clearly, before you could understand a single word, you could feel warmth. Inside the womb, surrounded by amniotic fluid at roughly 99 degrees Fahrenheit. Warmth was the first language your body ever spoke. It was the language that said you are alive, you are held, you are safe. And tonight, as we move from the biology of warmth into something deeper, into the warmth of touch and the chemistry of comfort, remember that your body has been listening to this language for longer than you have been breathing air. Let your stomach soften now. Let the warmth of your own body settle into the space beneath your ribs, like a stone that has been resting in the sun all day long. The next cluster of facts will carry you deeper, but there is no hurry. The warmth will wait. From the biology of warmth, we move now to something more tender, something closer to the heart. In the next 25 facts, we will explore how warmth becomes more than temperature, how it becomes touch, how it becomes comfort, how it becomes love. But for now, just rest. The next facts will come to you softly, like a hand gently placed on your shoulder. Beneath your skin, there are nerve fibers made only for gentle touch. They are called C-tactile afferents, and they are unlike any other nerve in your body. Most nerves respond to pressure, pain, or temperature, but C-tactile afferents respond to one thing above all others: slow, warm, gentle stroking of the skin, the kind of touch a parent gives a child, the kind of touch that says, without words, "I am here." These fibers fire most strongly when the touch moves across the skin at a speed between 1 and 10 centimeters per second. Scientists measured this. They mapped the exact speed of comfort, and it turns out it is the same speed at which most people naturally stroke someone they love. Your body did not learn this. It was born knowing it, somewhere beneath the surface of your skin. Right now, there are fibers waiting for that kind of touch, and even the memory of it, even imagining it, can send a faint signal through those fibers. Let your stomach soften. Let the weight of your body press gently into whatever is beneath you. A warm hand on your back can lower your heart rate. When someone places a warm hand on your back, not pressing, not moving, just resting there, something measurable happens inside your body. Your heart rate slows. Your blood pressure drops slightly. Your breathing deepens. This is the vagal response. The warmth and gentle pressure activate your vagus nerve, the long, wandering nerve that connects your brain to your heart, your lungs, your stomach. When it is stimulated, it sends a simple message to your body: you are safe. Slow down. You do not need someone's hand on your back right now to feel this. The weight of your blanket, pressing gently against your chest, can activate a similar response. Warmth plus gentle pressure. The same equation. The same result. Notice your heartbeat. If you can, it may already be slower than it was a few minutes ago. That is not your imagination. That is your vagus nerve, doing its quiet work. Oxytocin is sometimes called the hormone of calm and connection. It is released when you hug someone you trust, when you hold a warm cup in your hands, when a baby nurses at its mother's chest, when you feel safe enough to close your eyes in the presence of another person. Oxytocin does many things, but among the most important is this: it lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. It slows the heart. It softens the muscles. It tells the body, in chemical language, that the danger has passed. Kerstin Uvnas Moberg, a Swedish researcher who spent decades studying oxytocin, described it as the hormone that creates the physiological conditions for rest. Not sleep itself, but the state of safety that makes sleep possible. You do not need to be touched right now to feel its effects. The warmth around you, the stillness, the gentle voice in your ears, these are all signals that can nudge your brain toward releasing a little more of this quiet chemical. Let it come. You have earned it. Weighted blankets mimic the feeling of being held. A weighted blanket typically weighs between 15 and 25 pounds. It presses gently against your body from all directions, a sensation called deep pressure stimulation. And deep pressure stimulation does something remarkable. It increases serotonin and melatonin while decreasing cortisol. But there is something else, something less measurable. A weighted blanket feels like being held. Not tightly, not urgently, but with steady, even, unchanging pressure. The the kind of hold that says, "I am not going anywhere." Researchers believe this is why weighted blankets help with anxiety and insomnia. The pressure simulates the presence of another body, and the body responds as if it is not alone. Whatever is covering you right now, a blanket, a sheet, a quilt, notice its weight. Even a light blanket has a gentle downward pull, a quiet gravity, a soft, constant embrace. Let that embrace hold you. The speed of a caring touch has been scientifically measured. 1 to 10 centimeters per second. That is the speed at which gentle touch feels most comforting. Slower than that, and the skin barely registers it. Faster, and it feels clinical, purposeful rather than tender. But within that narrow window, something magical happens. The C-tactile afferents fire. Oxytocin is released. The heart slows. The breath deepens. The body enters a state that scientists call affiliative touch processing, a fancy term for the feeling of being cared for. It is remarkable, when you think about it, that comfort has a speed. That tenderness can be measured in centimeters per second, that the universe built into the architecture of your skin, a system specifically designed to recognize love. You do not need to think about this. Your body already knows. It has always known. Let your forehead soften now. Let the skin there become smooth and still, as if a warm hand has just passed across it. Skin-to-skin contact can stabilize a newborn's entire body. When a newborn baby is placed on a parent's bare chest, a practice called kangaroo care, the results are almost immediate. The baby's temperature stabilizes, heart rate steadies, breathing becomes more regular, cortisol drops, oxytocin rises. The parent's body becomes a complete life support system, not through technology, not through medicine, through warmth and touch alone. Studies in neonatal intensive care units have shown that kangaroo care reduces infection rates, improves weight gain, and shortens hospital stays. The warmth of a human body, it turns out, is one of the most powerful medicines in the world. You may not remember being held this way, but your body does. The pathways that responded to that warmth are still there, still active, still listening for the signal that says someone is here. You are being held. Tonight, that signal is everywhere around you. Warm touch reduces the stress hormone cortisol. Cortisol is the hormone your body produces when it senses danger. It sharpens your focus, quickens your heart, tenses your muscles. It is useful in an emergency. But when cortisol stays elevated for too long, it makes everything harder, including sleep. Warm touch is one of the most reliable ways to bring cortisol down. A warm hand, a warm compress, a warm bath. Each one sends a signal through the skin that reaches the hypothalamus and says the emergency is over. Your cortisol levels may already be falling right now. With each minute that passes in stillness, with each warm sensation against your skin, your body is quietly dismantling the architecture of alertness. You do not need to make it happen. You just need to not interfere. Let your body do what it already knows how to do. A warm compress on your eyes can relieve tension you did not know you had. The muscles around your eyes are among the most overworked muscles in your body. They spend all day focusing, adjusting, scanning. By evening, They carry tension that you may not consciously feel, but that your body registers. A warm compress placed over closed eyes relaxes these muscles almost instantly. The warmth increases blood flow to the delicate tissues around the eye. The gentle weight tells the muscles you can stop working now. You do not have a warm compress right now, but you can imagine one. Imagine a gentle warmth settling over your closed eyelids. Soft, even, like sunlight through a thin curtain. Your eyes might soften just from imagining it. That is not a trick. That is your nervous system responding to the idea of warmth. Even the thought of comfort can be comforting. Self-touch activates some of the same calming pathways as being touched by another person. When you cross your arms over your chest, or place a hand on your own cheek, or rest your palm on your stomach, your C-tactile afferents still fire, not as strongly as they would if someone else were touching you, but enough to release a small amount of oxytocin, enough to lower cortisol slightly, enough to tell your body you are being cared for. Psychologists sometimes call this self-soothing touch. It is not a substitute for connection, but it is a reminder that your body carries its own comfort system. Wherever your hands are resting right now, they are touching your body, and your body is receiving that touch as a small act of care. You are holding yourself, gently, quietly, and that is enough. The tradition of drinking warm milk before bed has a basis in science. Warm milk contains tryptophan, an amino acid that your body uses to produce serotonin and melatonin. But the amount of tryptophan in a glass of milk is small, probably not enough, on its own, to make you sleepy. So why does it work for so many people? Scientists believe it is a combination of things. The warmth of the liquid soothes the throat and stomach. The act of holding the warm cup activates tactile comfort. And the ritual itself, the familiar, repeated act of preparing something warm before bed, signals to the brain that sleep is near. Sometimes, the ritual matters more than the chemistry. Sometimes, the warmth of the cup in your hands is the real medicine. You do not need warm milk tonight. You already have warmth. You already have ritual. You already have everything your body needs. Hot water bottles have been used for comfort for over 400 years. Long before electric blankets, before heated mattress pads, before any modern technology for keeping warm in bed. There was the hot water bottle, first made from copper or ceramic, later from rubber, and now from silicone. The hot water bottle has been a companion to sleepers for centuries. It is a simple technology, heated water, sealed inside a container, placed against the body. But it works because it mimics something ancient, the warmth of another body lying beside you. In hospitals during the 19th century, hot water bottles were sometimes called silent nurses. They provided comfort when no human hand was available. They offered warmth when the room was cold and the night was long. Tonight, the warmth around you serves the same purpose. It does not matter where it comes from. What matters is that it is here. Your vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your body, and warmth can soothe it. The vagus nerve extends from your brainstem all the way down to your abdomen, with branches reaching your heart, lungs, and digestive system. It is the main channel of your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system that opposes the fight or flight response. When the vagus nerve is stimulated, your body shifts into a calmer state. Heart rate drops, breathing slows. Digestion begins. And one of the simplest ways to stimulate the vagus nerve is with warmth, particularly warmth applied to the chest, stomach, or neck. Right now, if you are lying on your back, the warmth of your blanket is resting directly above your vagus nerve. Every breath you take gently presses the warmth closer, and with each press, a small signal travels down that long, wandering nerve, saying rest, rest, rest. Heartbeats can synchronize when two people share warmth. When two people lie close together, sharing a blanket, sharing warmth, their heart rates begin to align. Not perfectly, not immediately, but gradually, over minutes. Their heartbeats drift toward the same rhythm. Scientists call this physiological synchrony. It happens between parents and infants, between romantic partners, between close friends. Warmth and proximity create the conditions for two nervous systems to find a shared tempo. You are alone right now. Perhaps, or perhaps someone is near. Either way, your heartbeat has its own rhythm tonight. A steady, solitary pulse. And that is enough. You do not need another heart to synchronize with. Your heart already knows its own song. Listen to it. If you like, or don't, it will keep playing either way. Massage increases serotonin by an average of 28%. Research has shown that massage therapy, the gentle manipulation of muscles with warm hands, can increase serotonin levels significantly. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter associated with mood, well-being, and the production of melatonin. But it is not just the pressure that matters. Studies comparing cold-handed massage with warm-handed massage found that warmth amplified the effect. Warm hands on tense muscles. The combination of heat and gentle pressure. Your muscles may be holding tension right now that you are not aware of. In your neck, in your lower back, in the space between your shoulder blades. You do not need a massage tonight, but you can give those muscles permission to soften, permission to release the tension they have been carrying. Let your chest feel heavy. Let your ribs settle downward. Let the warmth beneath your blanket do what warm hands do. Slowly, patiently, without hurry. The warmth of a pet lying beside you can lower your blood pressure. Studies have shown that people who sleep with a pet nearby, a dog curled at the foot of the bed, a cat resting on the pillow, experience measurable reductions in blood pressure and heart rate during the night. Part of this is the emotional comfort of companionship, but part of it is thermal. A pet's body radiates warmth, and that warmth, like the warmth of a hot water bottle or a weighted blanket, sends a signal to your nervous system: you are not alone. Something warm is near. Whether or not a pet is with you tonight, the principle is the same. Warmth from any source. A blanket, a heater, the memory of a body near yours, can lower the volume of alertness in your brain. Let the volume lower now, a little quieter, a little softer. Swaddling a baby works because it combines warmth and gentle pressure. For thousands of years, across nearly every culture, parents have wrapped their infants tightly in cloth. Swaddling restricts movement, which prevents the startle reflex from waking the baby. But it also does two things that the nervous system deeply recognizes. It provides even pressure, and it traps warmth. The result is a small, warm, enclosed world that mimics the conditions of the womb. And in that world, babies sleep longer, cry less, and breathe more steadily. Adults are not so different. The blanket wrapped around you tonight is a version of the same principle. Less restrictive, but the same idea. Warmth held close, gentle pressure, evenly distributed, a cocoon of safety. You were swaddled once. You were small enough to be held entirely in someone's arms. And tonight, though you are grown, the same principle still works. Warmth and gentle pressure, the oldest comfort in the world. Holding a warm object can change how you perceive others. In a famous study by researchers Lawrence Williams and John Bargh, participants were asked to hold either a warm cup of coffee or an iced coffee before evaluating a stranger. Those who held the warm cup rated the stranger as more trustworthy, more generous, and more caring. The participants did not know why they felt this way. They were not aware that the warmth in their hands was influencing their judgment. But it was. Physical warmth primed their brains for social warmth. This study revealed something beautiful about human psychology. The line between physical sensation and emotional perception is thinner than we imagine. Warmth is not just a temperature. It is a lens through which we see the world. Right now, surrounded by warmth, your perception may be softening too. The world may feel a little gentler, a little kinder, a little safer than it did a few hours ago. Let it. Warm water immersion can reduce anxiety within minutes. Research on hydrotherapy, the use of warm water for therapeutic purposes, has consistently shown that immersion in warm water reduces anxiety, lowers cortisol, and increases parasympathetic nervous system activity. The effects can begin within as little as 5 minutes. The warm water surrounds the body evenly. It supports the weight of the limbs. It applies gentle, uniform pressure. It is, in many ways, the closest an adult can come to returning to the womb. You are not in water right now, but the principles still apply. The warmth around you, the support beneath you, the gentle, even pressure of your blanket. Your body does not distinguish as clearly as you might think between warm water and warm air and warm fabric. It responds to the warmth itself. And right now, it is responding. Endorphins are released when your body is gently warmed. Endorphins, the body's natural painkillers, are released in response to many stimuli: exercise, laughter, music, and warmth. Gentle, sustained warming of the skin triggers a slow, steady release of endorphins that can last for minutes after the heat source is removed. This is one reason why warm baths feel so good. It is not just the relaxation of muscles. It is not just the drop in cortisol. It is the quiet flood of endorphins that the warmth invites. You may not notice the endorphins working right now. They do not announce themselves. They do not feel like euphoria. They feel more like the quiet absence of discomfort, a gentle numbness, a soft distance from the worries of the day. If the day felt heavy earlier, it may feel lighter now. That is not forgetting. That is chemistry. Your body is taking care of you. Warm compresses have been used to treat pain since ancient Egypt. 4,000 years ago, Egyptian healers applied warm poultices to aching joints and injured muscles. They did not understand vasodilation or nerve conduction. They did not know about C-tactile afferents or endorphins. But they understood something essential. Warmth eases pain. Since then, every civilization has discovered the same truth. Warm stones in Japan, hot springs in Rome, heated sand in India, warm herbal wraps in China. Across centuries, across continents, the prescription has been the same. Apply warmth. Wait. Let the body heal. Tonight, you are not in pain, or perhaps you are, and the warmth is helping. Either way, you are part of a tradition that stretches back thousands of years. The warmth around you is not modern. It is ancient, and it has been working for as long as humans have been alive. Your body produces more oxytocin in warm environments. Researchers have found that ambient temperature affects oxytocin production. In warmer environments, oxytocin levels tend to be slightly higher. The body interprets warmth as a signal of safety, and safety is the precondition for oxytocin release. This may be why people tend to feel more relaxed, more social, and more trusting on warm evenings. It is not just the pleasant weather, it is the chemistry of warmth, working quietly beneath the surface of awareness. Right now, in the warmth of wherever you are, your oxytocin may be gently rising. Not dramatically, not in a way you would notice, but enough to soften the edges of your thoughts, enough to make the world feel a little less sharp. Let those edges soften. They do not need to be sharp tonight. Heated blankets can improve sleep quality in older adults. As people age, their thermoregulation becomes less efficient. The body generates less heat. Blood flow to the extremities decreases, and the result is often difficulty falling asleep. Not because of worry or stress, but simply because the body is cold. Studies have shown that providing gentle external warmth through heated blankets, warm mattress pads, or simply warmer bedding can significantly improve sleep quality in older adults. The warmth compensates for what the body can no longer easily provide on its own. This is a kind of tenderness. The world offering warmth to a body that has given warmth for decades. A return on a lifetime of metabolic investment. Whatever your age tonight, the warmth around you is a gift. Accept it simply, the way you accepted warmth when you were very young. Without question, without analysis, just gratitude. Warmth and music activate overlapping brain regions. Neuroscience studies have shown that the experience of physical warmth and the experience of listening to beautiful music both activate the insular cortex, a region of the brain associated with emotional awareness and interoception, the sense of what is happening inside your body. This may be why a warm room and soft music together feel so deeply comforting. They are speaking to the same part of your brain. Two inputs, one destination, two streams flowing into the same quiet river. Right now, you are receiving warmth, and perhaps you are hearing a voice. This voice, with its own rhythm and cadence. Together, they are reaching the same place inside you. A place that does not need words or logic. A place that simply knows this is good. This is safe. Let that knowing settle deeper. The warmth of a hug lasts longer in your body than in your arms. When you hug someone, truly hug them. Not a quick pat, but a real, sustained embrace. The warmth transfers between your bodies, and when you step back, the physical warmth fades quickly, but the neurochemical effects last much longer. Oxytocin levels remain elevated for up to 20 minutes after a warm embrace. Cortisol stays reduced, heart rate stays lower, The body continues to process the hug long after it ends, as if savoring it. You may not have hugged anyone today, or perhaps you did. Either way, the warmth you feel right now is a kind of embrace, not from arms, but from fabric, from air, from the quiet space around you. And like a hug, it will linger, even after this voice fades, even after you drift away. The warmth will stay. Warmth is the bridge between body and heart. We have spent the last 25 facts exploring how warmth moves from the physical into the emotional, how a warm hand becomes a calming signal, how a heated blanket becomes an embrace, how temperature becomes trust. This bridge, from body to heart, is not a metaphor. It is wired into your neuroscience. The same brain regions that process physical warmth process social warmth. The same chemicals that respond to heated skin respond to kindness. Your body does not separate the warmth of a blanket from the warmth of a friend. To your nervous system, warmth is warmth. Safety is safety. Comfort is comfort. And in the next 25 facts, we will cross another bridge, from the warmth within you, outward, to the warmth between people, between species, between stars. But for now, just feel the warmth where you are, inside your body, inside your heart. Let your hands rest where they are most comfortable. Let your feet be still. The next cluster will come to you gently, like warmth always does. Holding a warm cup of coffee can make you see strangers as kinder. In 2008, psychologists Lawrence Williams and John Bargh conducted an experiment that surprised even them. They asked participants to briefly hold either a warm cup of coffee or a cup of iced coffee. Then they asked them to evaluate a stranger based on a short description. The people who held the warm cup consistently rated the stranger as more generous, more caring, and more trustworthy. The people who held the cold cup rated the same stranger as more distant and more selfish. The participants had no idea that temperature was influencing their judgment. They believed they were being objective. But warmth had already colored their perception, quietly, invisibly, like sunlight changing the hue of a room. Right now, you are surrounded by warmth, and perhaps, without realizing it, the world already seems a little softer, a little more forgiving, a little more kind. That is not an illusion. That is warmth doing what it has always done, making the world feel safe enough to trust. Loneliness can make your body temperature drop. Researchers studying the connection between social isolation and physiology discovered something remarkable. People who reported feeling lonely also had measurably cooler skin temperatures. Their bodies were literally colder. This is not metaphor. This is measurement. Social disconnection triggers a physiological response. Vasoconstriction in the extremities, reduced blood flow to the surface, a subtle but real drop in warmth. Your body does not separate the feeling of being alone from the feeling of being cold. To your nervous system, isolation and cold are overlapping experiences. They share neural pathways. They produce similar responses. And the reverse is also true. Warmth from a blanket, from a room, from a voice, can partially reverse the physiological effects of loneliness. Not fully, not permanently, but enough to remind your body that it is not as alone as it sometimes feels. The warmth you feel right now is a kind of company. Penguins huddle for warmth and take turns being in the center. In the Antarctic winter, when temperatures plunge to -70 degrees Fahrenheit and whines scream across the ice, emperor penguins gather in enormous huddles. Sometimes thousands of birds press together, sharing body heat. But here is the remarkable part. The huddle is not a competition. The penguins on the outside, exposed to the wind, gradually rotate inward, and the penguins at the warm center gradually move outward. Everyone takes a turn in the cold. Everyone gets time in the warmth. It is a system of fairness built not on language or negotiation, but on movement and trust, a democracy of warmth. Even among animals that cannot speak, warmth is shared. Even in the coldest place on earth, no one is left in the cold forever. You are warm right now, and somewhere, someone who needs warmth will find it too. That is how warmth works. It moves. It circulates. It finds the places that need it most. Physical warmth and social warmth share the same brain pathway. Neuroimaging studies have revealed something that poets have always suspected: the brain processes physical warmth and social warmth in the same region. The insular cortex. When you hold a warm cup, the insular cortex activates. When you think of someone you love, the same region activates. When you feel included, accepted, cared for, the same region. The brain does not have separate circuits for these experiences. It uses one pathway for all of them. This means that warmth is not a metaphor for love. It is the same experience. Neurologically speaking, when we say someone has a warm personality, we are not being poetic. We are being accurate. The brain literally cannot tell the difference. Let that idea settle into you. The warmth of your blanket and the warmth of being loved. To your brain, they are the same language. A warm room can make negotiations more cooperative. Researchers studying the effects of ambient temperature on social behavior found that people negotiating in warm rooms were more likely to reach compromises, share resources, and trust their counterparts than people negotiating in cold rooms. The cold room produced more competitive behavior, more suspicion, more rigidity. The warm room produced more flexibility, more generosity, more willingness to see the other person's perspective. Temperature was shaping behavior, and no one in the room knew it. This is one of the quietest truths about warmth. It does not just change how your body feels. It changes how you think, how you relate, how you treat the people around you right now, in the warmth of this moment. Your thoughts may be gentler than they were earlier today. Your judgments may be softer. Your heart may be more open. That is not weakness. That is warmth, doing its ancient work. Attachment theory suggests that warmth is the foundation of trust. John Bowlby, the British psychiatrist who developed attachment theory, believed that the bond between a child and caregiver was built on one fundamental experience: the feeling of being safe and safety. In the earliest months of life, is almost entirely communicated through warmth. A warm body holding you, a warm voice speaking to you, a warm room surrounding you. These are the building blocks of what Bowlby called a secure attachment. The deep, unconscious belief that the world is trustworthy. People who were held warmly as children tend to find it easier to trust as adults, not because they remember being held, But because their nervous systems were shaped by that warmth, the trust lives in their biology. Tonight, the warmth around you is speaking to that same part of your nervous system, the part that was shaped before language, before memory, before you knew what trust was. Let it speak. Babies prefer warm objects over cold ones, even at birth. Newborn infants, given a choice between reaching for a warm object and a cool one, consistently reach for warmth. They do this before they have learned anything about the world, before language, before experience, before culture. This is not learned behavior. It is instinct. A preference so deep it must be written into the genes themselves. Warmth equals safety. Warmth equals life. The body knows this before the mind has even begun to form. You carried this preference into adulthood. Every warm blanket you reach for, every warm cup you wrap your hands around, every warm bath you sink into, these are echoes of that first instinct. The infant in you still reaches for warmth. And tonight, warmth has reached back. Couples who share a bed regulate each other's temperature throughout the night. When two people sleep beside each other, their bodies engage in a subtle, unconscious dance of temperature regulation. If one person is too warm, the other absorbs some of the excess heat. If one is too cold, heat flows from the warmer body to the cooler one. This is not intentional. Neither person is aware of it. It is simply what bodies do when they are close. They share warmth, the way water finds its level. Scientists call this social thermoregulation. It is one of the oldest forms of cooperation in the animal kingdom. Long before language, long before trade or politics, living beings cooperated by sharing heat. Whether you are sleeping alone tonight or beside someone, your body carries the capacity for this exchange. It is part of your biology, a willingness to share warmth, a readiness to receive it. Tonight, receive it from wherever it comes. The campfire may have been humanity's first social gathering place. Archaeological evidence suggests that early humans began controlling fire at least 1 million years ago. And from that moment on, the campfire became the center of social life. People gathered around it. They shared food. They told stories. They slept in its glow. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner studied modern hunter-gatherer societies and found that 80% of nighttime conversation around the fire was storytelling. During the day, people talked about work, conflict, resources. But at night, by the fire, they told stories. The warmth of fire changed human culture. It extended the day. It created a space for imagination. It gave people a reason to sit together in the dark and share their inner worlds. You are part of that tradition right now, listening to a story in the warmth of the night. The fire may be gone, but the warmth remains, and the story continues. Hot springs have been sacred places in nearly every culture. From the onsen of Japan to the hammam of Turkey, from the Roman thermae to the natural hot springs of Iceland, cultures around the world have built rituals around naturally heated water. These places were not just for bathing. They were for healing, for socializing, for worship. The warm water was seen as a gift from the earth, a place where the boundary between the human body and the natural world dissolved. In Japan, the practice of communal bathing, Hadaka no Tsukiai, or naked communion, is believed to strip away social barriers along with clothing. In the warm water, everyone is equal. Everyone is vulnerable. Everyone is held. The earth still warms its water in hidden places. Underground rivers flowing past heated rock. Springs rising to the surface. Steam curling into the cold air. The earth is warm. It has been warm for 4.5 billion years. And some of that warmth, tonight, is reaching you. Through the air. Through the walls. Through the ground beneath whatever building holds you. The word warmth appears in almost every language as a synonym for kindness. In English, we speak of warm hearts and warm smiles. In Japanese, atatakai hito means a warm person, someone kind. In Spanish, una persona cálida. In German, ein warmherziger Mensch, a warm-hearted human. Across cultures, across centuries, across languages that developed independently on different continents. Warmth and kindness are linked. This is not coincidence. It is neuroscience. The brain pathways for physical warmth and social warmth are the same pathways, and so the language follows the biology. When we call someone warm, we are not using a metaphor. We are describing a neurological reality. We are saying this person makes my insular cortex feel the same way a warm blanket does. Language, it turns out, has always known what science is only now discovering. Let your jaw soften now. Let the muscles of your face relax into an expression of quiet calm. Seasonal affective disorder may be partly about missing warmth. Millions of people experience mood changes during the winter months, a condition known as seasonal affective disorder, or SRD. Most research has focused on the role of light. Shorter days, less sunlight, disrupted circadian rhythms. But some researchers believe that warmth plays an underappreciated role. In winter, people spend less time outdoors. They receive less radiant warmth from the sun. Their skin is covered more. Tactile warmth decreases. Light therapy has been the standard treatment for SAD, but newer studies are exploring the effects of warm baths, heated rooms, and warm social environments as complementary treatments. Warmth may not replace light, but it may fill a gap that light alone cannot. If winter has ever made you feel low, it may not be only the darkness. It may be the cold. Your body may be missing the warmth it needs not just to survive, but to feel whole. Tonight, you have both. Warmth and a voice in the dark. That is more than enough. Birds migrate thousands of miles to follow warmth. Every autumn, billions of birds take to the skies and fly south. Some travel extraordinary distances. The Arctic tern flies from pole to pole, a round trip of over 40,000 miles. They navigate by the stars, by the Earth's magnetic field, by memory. But the fundamental drive is simple. They are following warmth. They are going to the place where the air is soft enough. The water is open enough. The earth is warm enough to sustain life. Warmth is not just a comfort for birds. It is a destination, a place they will cross oceans to reach. You did not need to cross an ocean tonight. You simply came to bed. But in a sense, you made the same journey. You traveled from the cold alertness of the day to the warm stillness of the night. You have arrived. The Earth's core is as hot as the surface of the sun, 4,000 miles beneath your feet. The inner core of the Earth reaches temperatures of approximately 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit, nearly as hot as the surface of the Sun. This heat has been radiating outwards since the formation of the planet. 4.5 billion years ago. You live on the surface of a warm world. The ground beneath you, the rock beneath that, the mantle beneath that, all of it is warm. You are, right now, resting on the outer skin of an enormous sphere of heat. The warmth beneath you is ancient, older than life itself, older than the oceans, older than the atmosphere. It was here before anything was alive to feel it. And it will still be here long after you have drifted off to sleep. Let that thought settle your shoulders a little deeper. You are resting on something very, very old, and it is warm. The sun is a star, and stars are the universe's furnaces. Every star in the night sky is a furnace, a sphere of hydrogen and helium, fusing atoms together and releasing energy in the form of light and heat. Our sun, a medium-sized star, produces enough energy every second to power human civilization for 500,000 years. And yet, from where you are, the sun's warmth feels gentle. It crosses 93 million miles of empty, frozen space and arrives as nothing more than a pleasant glow on your skin. Right now, the sun is on the other side of the Earth. Its warmth is being felt by someone else. But the warmth you feel tonight, from your blanket, from your body, from the heated air, is ultimately sunlight, stored in food, converted to energy, released as body heat. You are glowing with recycled starlight, a warm body, on a warm planet, in a universe that began with the greatest warmth of all. Geothermal vents at the bottom of the ocean support life without any sunlight. Miles beneath the surface of the ocean, where no light has ever reached. There are cracks in the Earth's crust, called hydrothermal vents. Superheated water, rich in minerals, pours out of these vents at temperatures exceeding 700 degrees Fahrenheit. And around these vents, in complete darkness, life thrives. Tube worms, blind shrimp, ghostly crabs. Entire ecosystems built not on sunlight, but on Earth's internal warmth. Life does not require light, but it requires warmth. Wherever there is warmth, there is the possibility of life. This is one of the most fundamental truths in biology. You carry warmth inside you, roughly 98.6 degrees of it. And wherever that warmth goes, life goes. You are a walking hydrothermal vent, a source of heat in a cold universe, sustaining the miracle of consciousness simply by being warm. Some animals hibernate by letting their body temperature drop to near freezing. The Arctic ground squirrel, during hibernation, allows its core body temperature to fall to as low as 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Below the freezing point of water, its heartbeat slows from 300 beats per minute to just 3. Its breathing nearly stops, and yet it survives. Every few weeks, it briefly rewarms itself, burning stored fat to raise its temperature back to normal for 12 to 15 hours before cooling down again. Scientists are not entirely sure why, but many believe the rewarming is necessary to sleep. Hibernation, it turns out, is not sleep. The squirrel must warm up in order to truly rest. Even in the deepest state of metabolic shutdown, the body still needs warmth to dream. You are warm right now. Warm enough to dream. Warm enough to sleep, the kind of sleep that refreshes and restores. Your body has everything it needs. Let your feet soften. Let the space between your toes relax. You are warm enough. Bioluminescence is the only light that produces almost no heat. Deep in the ocean, creatures produce their own light through chemical reactions, a process called bioluminescence. Jellyfish glow green. Anglerfish dangle luminous lures. Dinoflagellates light up the waves in electric blue. Remarkably, bioluminescent light produces almost no heat. It is called cold light. In a universe where light and heat are usually inseparable, these creatures have found a way to make light without warmth. It is the exception that proves the rule. Almost everywhere else in the universe, light comes with heat. Stars burn, fires blaze. Even the screen you may have looked at earlier today radiated warmth. But now, in the darkness, you do not need light. You only need warmth. And warmth does not need light to exist. It can exist in total darkness, wrapped around you like a blanket, invisible and complete. The cosmic microwave background is the warmth left over from the birth of the universe. 13.8 billion years ago, the universe was born in an unimaginable burst of energy, the Big Bang. In the first moments, the universe was inconceivably hot, trillions of degrees. As it expanded, it cooled, and the heat that was once concentrated in a point smaller than an atom spread out across all of space. Today, that heat still exists, as a faint glow of microwave radiation that fills every corner of the universe. Scientists call it the cosmic microwave background. Its temperature is just 2.7 degrees above absolute zero. Almost nothing, but it is everywhere. Every direction you look, in every corner of the sky, there is this ancient warmth. You are bathed in it right now. The warmth of the universe's birth, thinned by 13 billion years of expansion, but still present, still detectable, still real. The universe has been cooling for a very long time, but it has never quite gone cold, and neither will you. Stellar nurseries are the warmest places in interstellar space. In the vast cold emptiness between stars, there are clouds of gas and dust called nebulae, and within some of these nebulae, gravity pulls material together, compressing it, heating it, until, after millions of years, a new star ignites. These stellar nurseries are the warmest places in the space between stars. They glow with infrared light, the light of warmth, and from them, new stars are born, new sources of heat, new centers of light in the darkness. Warmth creates warmth. That is the fundamental cycle of the universe. A star forms, warms a planet, and on that planet, life grows warm enough to wonder about the stars. You are part of that cycle, a warm being, on a warm world, looking up at warm stars. And somewhere out there, right now, a new star is being born, another furnace, lighting up the dark. Let your forehead be smooth and still. Let the space behind your eyes be dark and warm, like a nebula waiting to dream. Planets in the habitable zone are sometimes called Goldilocks planets. For a planet to support life as we know it, it must orbit its star at just the right distance. Not too close, not too far, close enough to be warm, far enough to not burn. Scientists call this the habitable zone, and they sometimes call it the Goldilocks zone. Just right. Earth sits comfortably within our sun's Goldilocks zone. It is warm enough for liquid water, cool enough for ice at the poles. A world of gentle extremes, held in balance by distance and atmosphere. You live on a planet that is just warm enough, not by accident, but by the mathematics of orbital mechanics and atmospheric chemistry. The warmth you feel tonight is the result of a cosmic equation that has been balanced for 4.5 billion years. You are in the right place. The temperature is right. The distance is right. Everything is exactly as it should be. The warmth of a mother's voice can change a baby's brain chemistry. Studies have shown that when a baby hears its mother's voice, soft, warm, familiar, its brain releases oxytocin and its cortisol levels drop. The voice does not need to say anything meaningful. It does not need to sing. It just needs to be there, warm and present. The warmth of a voice is not about volume or pitch. It is about tone, the subtle quality that communicates safety. Animals respond to it too. Dogs relax when they hear a warm voice. Cats purr. Even plants, some studies suggest, grow differently in the presence of gentle sounds. The voice you are hearing right now was designed to be warm. Its pace is slow. Its tone is soft. And while it is not the voice of someone you know, your nervous system may still be responding to its warmth. You do not need to know a voice to be comforted by it. You just need to hear the warmth in it. Meerkats warm each other by sleeping in piles. In the cold deserts of southern Africa, meerkats sleep underground in burrows. And when the temperature drops at night, they pile on top of one another, sometimes 10 or 15 animals in a single heap, to conserve warmth. The youngest and smallest meerkats are placed in the center, where it is warmest. The adults take the outer positions. It is a social structure built not on dominance or aggression, but on care. The strong protect the vulnerable. The warm shelter the cold. Across the animal kingdom, this pattern repeats. Bats cluster in caves. Honeybees vibrate their wings to heat the hive. Wolf packs sleep curled together. Warmth is shared. Always. You may be the only human in your bed tonight, but you are not alone in the larger sense. Across the planet, millions of creatures are doing what you are doing right now, settling into warmth, preparing to rest, trusting the night to hold them. You are part of that great, warm, sleeping world. Warmth travels through empty space as infrared radiation, unlike conduction, which requires contact, and convection, which requires fluid. Radiation can carry warmth across the vacuum of space. The sun's warmth reaches you this way, as electromagnetic waves in the infrared spectrum, traveling at the speed of light, crossing 93 million miles of nothing. Your body also radiates warmth. Right now, you are emitting infrared radiation in every direction. If someone looked at you through a thermal camera, you would glow. A soft, warm shape against the cooler background of the room. You are glowing right now, not with visible light, but with warmth. A quiet, invisible radiance that extends a few inches from your skin in every direction. You are a warm light in the darkness. Even with your eyes closed, even with every lamp turned off, You glow. The warmth between us is not a metaphor. It is real. We have traveled. In these 25 facts, from the warmth of a coffee cup to the warmth of the cosmos, from lonely bodies growing cold to penguin huddles sharing heat, from campfires to stellar nurseries, from the insular cortex to the cosmic microwave background. And through it all, one thread has remained: warmth connects. It connects neurons to emotions, bodies to bodies, people to people, planets to stars, the present to the beginning of time. The warmth you feel right now is not isolated. It is part of a web of warmth that stretches across your body, across your relationships, across your planet, across the universe. You are connected to all of it. In the next and final cluster, we will settle into that warmth completely. We will talk about warm baths, warm rituals, warm blankets, and the warm, quiet descent into sleep. But for now, just feel how far warmth reaches, from your skin to the stars. Let your shoulders drop. Let your chest expand. Let the warmth between you and everything else dissolve the edges of the day. The final cluster will carry you home. A warm bath 1 to 2 hours before bed can help you fall asleep 36% faster. In 2019, researchers at the University of Texas at Austin published a meta-analysis of over 5,000 participants. They examined the effects of warm water bathing on sleep quality. And they found something striking. A warm bath taken 1 to 2 hours before bed reduced sleep onset latency, the time it takes to fall asleep, by an average of 36%. The optimal water temperature was between 104 and 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Not scalding, not lukewarm, just warm enough to draw blood to the surface of the skin, just warm enough to start the cooling process that your body needs in order to sleep. It is a beautifully simple finding. Warm water. A quiet bathroom, 10 to 15 minutes, and your body begins its descent toward rest. You may not have taken a warm bath tonight, but the warmth around you is working on the same principle. Heat at the surface, cooling at the core. A body preparing to let go. Let it prepare. 10 minutes of warm water is enough to start the process. You do not need to soak for an hour. You do not need a luxurious bathtub or expensive bath salts. 10 minutes in warm water is enough to trigger the thermoregulatory cascade that leads to faster sleep onset. 10 minutes. That is all your body needs to begin the shift, to send blood to the surface, to start releasing heat, to tell the hypothalamus the day is ending. Prepare for rest. It is a reminder that the body does not need grand gestures. It does not need perfection. It needs small, warm, consistent signals. A few minutes of warmth, a quiet room, a soft surface, a blanket. You have given your body all of these things tonight, and your body is responding, quietly, gradually, without fanfare. Let your hands feel heavy now. Let them sink into whatever they are resting on, heavy and warm, like stones beside a river. The warm bath works not because it warms you, but because it helps you cool down. This is the paradox of the warm bath. You step into warm water, and your body warms up. But when you step out, the blood that rushed to your skin's surface begins to radiate heat rapidly into the cooler air. Your core temperature drops. And that drop, that cooling, is the signal your brain needs to initiate sleep. The bath does not put you to sleep by making you warm. It puts you to sleep by making you cool. After making you warm first. Your body loves this kind of paradox. It loves the rhythm of warming and cooling, tension and release, effort and rest. It is the rhythm of breathing. Inhale, exhale, the rhythm of the heart. Contract, relax, the rhythm of life itself. Right now, you may be in the cooling phase. The initial warmth of your blanket has settled. Your body has found its equilibrium. And now, slowly, gently, heat is escaping through your skin. Not too much, just enough. The paradox is working. You are cooling into sleep. Your ancestors gathered around fire before sleep for thousands of years. For most of human history, the transition from waking to sleeping was marked by firelight. As the sun set, families and tribes gathered around a fire. They ate, they talked, they watched the flames dance, and gradually, as the fire burned low and the embers glowed, they drifted off to sleep. The association between warmth and sleep is not just biological. It is cultural. It is ancestral. For hundreds of thousands of years, the last thing a human saw before closing their eyes was the warm glow of dying embers. You may not have a fire tonight, but the warm light of a lamp, the soft glow of a screen dimmed to its lowest setting, the ambient warmth of a heated room, these are the modern equivalents. Your brain still recognizes them as the signals of evening, the signals of rest. The embers are glowing. The day is ending. The fire is low. You can close your eyes now, if you like. The warmth will still be here. The temperature inside a womb is the first warmth you ever knew. For 9 months, you existed in a world that was approximately 99 degrees Fahrenheit, a world with no cold, no chill, no drafts, just constant, enveloping, perfect warmth. You could not see, you could not hear much beyond muffled sound, but you could feel warmth. It was your entire experience of the world, the first thing you ever knew. And when you were born, when you left that warm world and entered the cold air of a hospital room, the first thing that happened was that someone wrapped you in a blanket. Someone placed you against warm skin. Someone tried, as quickly as possible, to return you to the warmth you had always known. Every night, when you wrap yourself in blankets and settle into bed, you are recreating, in a small way, the conditions of the womb: warmth, darkness, enclosure, safety. You have been returning to this place every night of your life, and tonight is no different. Let your stomach be soft. Let your breathing be slow. You are returning to the first warmth you ever knew. Bedtime tea rituals exist in nearly every culture. In England, chamomile tea. In Morocco, mint tea. In India, warm milk with turmeric. In Japan, wei cha, roasted green tea with almost no caffeine. In South America, yerba mate served warm in the evening. The specific ingredient varies. The ritual does not. Across the world, people prepare a warm drink before bed. They hold the cup. They feel the steam on their face. They sip slowly, and with each sip, they tell their body the day is over. Rest is coming. The chemistry of the drink may help a little, but the warmth of the cup helps more. And the ritual, the familiar, repeated act of preparation, helps most of all. Your body responds to ritual. It learns patterns. It anticipates what comes next. And when the pattern says warmth, and then darkness, and then stillness, your body knows what follows. Sleep follows. Heated floors have been used for sleep comfort since ancient Rome. The Romans built a system called the hypocaust, a network of channels beneath the floor through which hot air circulated, warming the rooms above. Wealthy Roman homes and public baths used this technology to keep floors warm underfoot. In Korea, a similar system called ondol has been used for over 2,000 years. Hot air or warm water flows beneath the floor, radiating gentle heat upward. Koreans traditionally slept on mats placed directly on the ondol floor, surrounded by warmth from below. The idea is ancient and universal warmth rising from beneath. A warm foundation, a heated earth. Wherever you are lying right now, there is a surface beneath you, a mattress, a floor, a bed, and your body is warming it. You and your resting surface are creating warmth together, heat flowing downward from your body, and warmth rising gently back up. You are your own ondol, your own hypocaust, a quiet source of warmth, resting on a surface that holds your heat. Wearing socks to bed is one of the simplest sleep interventions ever studied. We mentioned this earlier. Warm socks help you fall asleep faster. But there is something worth lingering on. Of all the sleep interventions that science has studied, medications, supplements, cognitive behavioral therapy, blue light filters, weighted blankets, white noise machines, the humble sock is among the most effective per unit of effort. No prescription needed, no side effects, no learning curve, just warmth, applied to the feet at the right time. There is something comforting about the simplicity of this. In a world that often feels complex and overwhelming, the solution to better sleep can be as simple as a pair of warm socks. Your feet may be warm right now. If they are, you are already doing the work. The blood vessels are open. The heat is flowing outward. The core is cooling. Everything is working, quietly, simply, as it should. A warm compress on the back of your neck can trigger deep relaxation. The back of the neck is a region rich in nerve endings and close to the brainstem, the part of the brain that regulates basic functions like heart rate, breathing, and arousal. Applying warmth to this area can activate the parasympathetic nervous system rapidly. Some sleep clinics use warm neck wraps as part of their relaxation protocols. The warmth dilates blood vessels in the area, increases blood flow to the brain, and stimulates the vagus nerve, all of which contribute to a feeling of deep, sudden calm. You may feel your pillow warming beneath your neck right now. That warmth is not accidental. Your body placed it there. Your body heat created it, and now it is reflecting back to you. A small gift from your own biology. Let the back of your neck relax. Let the muscles there soften. Let the warmth that your body created return to the place that needs it most. Lavender and warmth together produce a stronger relaxation response than either one alone. Studies on aromatherapy have shown that the scent of lavender can reduce heart rate and lower blood pressure. But when lavender is combined with warmth, a warm lavender compress, a warm bath with lavender oil, a heated lavender pillow, the effects are amplified. Warmth opens the pores. It increases blood flow to the skin. It makes the body more receptive to the scent molecules. And the scent, in turn, enhances the calming effects of the warmth. Two gentle interventions, each mild on its own, but powerful together, like two hands clasped in comfort, like warmth and darkness, like breathing in and breathing out. You may or may not smell lavender tonight, but you have warmth, and warmth, even alone, is a powerful thing. Breathe in slowly, whatever the air smells like. Clean sheets, warm fabric, the quiet scent of night. Let it carry you a little deeper. The ideal blanket weight depends on your body, but the principle is the same. Sleep researchers have found that blanket preference varies widely between individuals. Some people sleep best under a single sheet. Others prefer heavy quilts. Some need weighted blankets. Some kick off their covers entirely. But the principle remains constant. The body seeks a balance between warmth and coolness, pressure and freedom. It wants to be warm enough to relax, but cool enough to sleep. It wants to feel held, but not trapped. Whatever is covering you right now, heavy or light, thick or thin, your body chose it. Your body knows what it needs. It has been making this decision every night for your entire life. Trust it. It has never gotten this wrong in a way that you could not fix by simply pulling the blanket up or pushing it down. Your body is a good sleeper. It knows the way. The microclimate beneath your covers reaches its ideal temperature within 15 minutes. When you first get into bed, the space between your body and your blanket is cool. But within 10 to 15 minutes, your body heat warms that space to its equilibrium, typically around 86 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the thermal sweet spot, the zone of maximum comfort. You have likely passed that threshold by now. The air between your skin and your covers is no longer room temperature. It is body temperature. It is your temperature. You are lying inside a pocket of warmth that was built specifically for you, by you, in the last few minutes. No one else could create this exact microclimate. It is as unique as a fingerprint. Sink into it. This warmth is yours. As you age, your circadian temperature rhythm becomes less pronounced. In young adults, the difference between the highest and lowest body temperature in a 24-hour cycle can be nearly 2 degrees. But as people age, this difference narrows. The peaks are lower. The valleys are shallower. The temperature rhythm flattens. This may be one reason why sleep becomes more fragmented with age. The body's temperature signal, the cooling that tells the brain to sleep, becomes less distinct. The message is still sent, but it is quieter. But external warmth can help amplify the signal. A warm bath, a warm room, a warm pair of socks. These are ways to boost the cooling effect, to make the temperature drop more pronounced, to give the brain a clearer signal. Whatever your age tonight, the warmth around you is helping. It is amplifying a signal that your body has been sending for as long as you have been alive. The signal is clear. It is time to rest. Astronauts on the International Space Station sleep in temperature-controlled pods. In space, there is no natural day or night, no sunset to trigger melatonin, no cool evening air to signal the body. So NASA engineers designed sleeping quarters with carefully controlled temperature, lighting, and airflow to simulate the conditions that human bodies need to sleep. The temperature is kept at approximately 75 degrees Fahrenheit, slightly warmer than the recommended bedroom temperature on Earth, because the lack of gravity changes how heat dissipates from the body. Even in orbit, 250 miles above the Earth, the human body still needs warmth to sleep. The same warmth it needed in the caves of Africa 100,000 years ago. The same warmth it needed in the womb. Some things do not change. No matter how far we travel, no matter how much we learn, the body still needs what it has always needed. Warmth, darkness, stillness, safety. You have all four tonight. Deep sleep occurs most easily when the body is thermally neutral. The deepest stages of sleep, slow-wave sleep, the kind that restores muscles, consolidates memory, and repairs tissue, are most easily achieved when the body is in thermal neutrality. No shivering, no sweating, no active temperature regulation at all. In this state, the body can devote all of its resources to restoration. It does not need to monitor temperature. It does not need to adjust. It can simply heal. You may be approaching this state right now. The warmth around you is steady. Your body is still. Your breathing is slow. The conditions for deep sleep are being assembled, one by one, like instruments joining an orchestra. The concert is about to begin, and it will play all night long. Let your chest settle. Let your ribs feel heavy. The music is starting. Warm light before bed is gentler on your circadian rhythm than cool light. Light exists on a spectrum. Blue light, the kind emitted by screens and fluorescent bulbs, suppresses melatonin production and keeps the brain alert. But warm light, the amber, orange, golden tones of candlelight, sunset, or low-wattage incandescent bulbs, has a much smaller effect on melatonin. This is why sleep experts recommend dimming the lights and shifting to warm tones in the hour before bed. The brain interprets warm light as a signal that the day is ending. The sun is setting. The fire is burning low. If you are in darkness right now, your melatonin is rising freely. Nothing is suppressing it. Nothing is telling your brain to stay alert. The darkness is a gift, and the warmth around you is its companion. Darkness and warmth, the two oldest lullabies in the world, singing together, just for you. Candlelight may be the most natural form of artificial light. For thousands of years, the only light humans had after sunset was fire, torch, oil lamps, candles. All of them produced warm, flickering light in the amber to orange spectrum, the same spectrum as sunset. This warm, dim light did not interfere with sleep. It did not suppress melatonin. It simply extended the twilight, creating a gentle transition between day and night. Modern electric light, particularly blue-white light, disrupted this ancient rhythm. It created a world without twilight, a world where the brain could not tell when evening had arrived. But in the darkness, right now, that confusion is gone. Your brain knows exactly what time it is. It knows because the light is gone and the warmth remains. It knows because your temperature is falling and your melatonin is rising. It knows because everything around you is saying the same thing. Night, rest, sleep. Winter hibernation in bears is triggered partly by changes in temperature. As autumn turns to winter and temperatures drop, bears begin to eat voraciously. A behavior called hyperphagia. They consume as many calories as possible, building fat reserves that will sustain them through months of sleep. When the temperature drops below a certain threshold and the days grow short enough, the bear's body initiates hibernation. Heart rate drops, metabolism slows, temperature falls slightly, and the bear sleeps for 4 to 7 months without eating, drinking, or waking. The trigger is not just cold. It is the change in temperature, the shift from warmth to cold. The body reads this shift as a signal winter is here. It is time to rest. Your body does not hibernate, but it reads temperature shifts too. The shift from the warm activity of the day to the cool stillness of the night. The shift from alertness to rest. Your body has read the signal tonight, and it is responding. The smell of rain on warm earth is called petrichor. When rain falls on sun-warmed soil, it releases a compound called geosmin, produced by bacteria in the earth. The scent is unmistakable, rich, earthy, alive. Scientists named it petrichor, from the Greek words for stone and the fluid that flows in the veins of the gods. Petrichor is the scent of warmth meeting water, of heat stored in the ground being released by rain. It is one of the most universally loved scents in the world. You may not smell petrichor tonight, but imagine it, if you like. Warm earth after rain, the steam rising from a sun-heated road as the first drops fall, the world exhaling warmth into the cool evening air. Your body is doing something similar right now, releasing warmth into the cool air around you, exhaling heat, letting go of the day, the way warm earth lets go of the sun. Silence and warmth together create the conditions for the deepest rest. Noise activates the amygdala, the brain's alarm center. Even sounds that are not threatening can keep the brain in a state of partial alertness. But silence allows the amygdala to stand down. It tells the brain there is nothing to monitor, nothing to respond to. You can rest. Warmth, meanwhile, activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It tells the body, you are safe. You are held. You can let go. Silence and warmth, two absences. The absence of sound, the absence of cold, that together create the most powerful presence, the presence of peace. Listen to the silence around you right now, between my words. In the spaces between thoughts, there is quiet. And in that quiet, there is warmth. And in that warmth, there is rest. Let the quiet hold you. Your breathing slows as your body warms towards sleep. You may have noticed, or perhaps you did not, that your breathing has changed since this recording began. It is slower now, deeper, more even. The pauses between breaths may be longer. This is not something you decided to do. It is something your body decided for you. As warmth settled around you, as your muscles relaxed, as your cortisol dropped and your parasympathetic nervous system activated, your breathing changed. Each breath is a small wave of warmth. Air enters your lungs at room temperature and leaves your body at nearly 98 degrees. Every exhale is a tiny release of heat, a tiny step closer to the thermal equilibrium that invites deep sleep. You do not need to control your breathing. It is controlling itself. Slowly, gently, like a tide coming in. Your eyelids are one of the warmest places on your body. The skin of your eyelids is the thinnest skin anywhere on your body, less than 1 millimeter thick. And because it is so thin, the blood flowing beneath it is very close to the surface. This makes your eyelids warm and delicate. When your eyes are closed, the warmth of your eyelids creates a small, dark, heated space, a micro-environment of perfect conditions for rest. Dark, warm, still. Your eyelids may be closed right now. If they are, notice the warmth there. Not hot, just warm. The warmth of blood flowing gently through the thinnest skin you have. That warmth is your body's way of protecting your eyes while you sleep. A warm blanket built into your face, covering the most delicate windows you own. The last thought before sleep is often the warmest. Researchers studying the transition from waking to sleeping, a state called hypnagogia, have found that the thoughts and images that occur just before sleep onset tend to be softer, warmer, and more abstract than waking thoughts. The critical mind relaxes, the judgmental mind quiets, and what remains is something gentle, a face, a color, a feeling, often a feeling of warmth. You may be approaching that threshold now, the place where thoughts stop being words and start being feelings, where ideas dissolve into images, where the world becomes soft and warm and undefined. You do not need to hold on to any thought. Let them go, like embers drifting upward from a fire. Warm, weightless, gone. Warmth is your body's oldest lullaby. Before there were words, there was warmth. Before there were songs, there was the feeling of a warm body pressed against yours. Before there were bedtime stories, there was the glow of embers and the slow descent of temperature that told your ancestors, sleep now. Warmth is the lullaby your body has been listening to since before you were born. It does not need lyrics. It does not need a melody. It only needs to be felt. And you are feeling it now. In your hands, in your feet, in the space between your skin and your blanket, in the quiet glow behind your closed eyes. The lullaby is playing. It has been playing all along. You are warm. You are safe. You can rest. This is the last fact, and it is the simplest. You are warm. The temperature around you is right. Your body has done everything it needs to do. Your blood vessels have dilated. Your core temperature has dropped. Your melatonin is rising. Your cortisol is low. Your muscles are soft. Your breathing is slow. You are safe. There is nothing to respond to, nothing to monitor, nothing to fix. The world will wait until morning. Whatever you carried today, whatever weight, whatever worry, whatever unfinished thought, you can set it down now. It will still be there tomorrow, if you need it. But tonight, it can rest too. You can rest, not because you have earned it, not because you have finished everything, but because rest is what your body was built to do. It is as natural as breathing, as ancient as warmth itself. 100 facts about warmth, and all of them led here. To this moment, to this warmth, to you. Rest now. From the warmth of the womb to the warmth of this moment, from the first sensation your body ever learned to the last thought drifting through your mind tonight. Warmth has been with you through all of it. It was there when you were small enough to be held in someone's arms. It was there in every warm bath, every cup of tea, every blanket pulled up to your chin on a cold night. It was there in every hand you held, every hug you gave, every time someone sat close enough for you to feel their warmth. Warmth is the universe's way of saying you belong here. You belong on this warm planet, orbiting this warm star, in this warm corner of an ancient, cooling universe. You belong in this bed, under these covers, in this darkness, in this moment. You don't need to remember any of these facts. They were never meant to be memorized. They were meant to be felt, like warmth itself. Not something you think about, but something you receive. Perhaps your whole body feels warm now, settled, heavy, like a stone that has rested by a fire all evening long. Not hot, not burning, just warm, deeply, quietly, perfectly warm. The fire is low now. The embers are glowing. The night is gentle and long. May your dreams tonight be warm. May they carry you to places where the air is soft, the light is golden, and everything is still. May you drift into a place where everything is safe, where the warmth never fades, where the night holds you the way the womb once held you, completely, gently, without condition. Good night, sleepy soul. The warmth will be here when you wake.